Hey guys, welcome back to another pick a card reading. Today's video is on what people get wrong about you. Okay, so we're gonna kind of be talking about assumptions, like how people perceive you, all along those lines, alright? Yeah, I'm super excited for this one. It'll be interesting. So, I want you guys to choose one of these four piles. We have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Feel free to pause this video for a moment if you need some time to meditate, sort of on which one you feel the most drawn to. And then once you've chosen, you can fast forward to the timestamp in the description box below. Thanks for watching. And without further ado, we will start with pile 1. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. For all of you who chose the Scolecite crystal, let's get into these cards and see what people get wrong about you. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the Fool, the Queen of Swords, we also have the King of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. And then for your oracle cards, we have the Maven of Masks and Gypsy Columbine. Okay. So let's begin with the Fool. This is a very adventurous, risky card. The Fool is someone who doesn't care, doesn't really think before they leap, right? It's kind of interesting that we have that paired with the King and Queen of Swords. Also just like cool that we have both the King and the Queen. Alright, so the word that comes to mind first is sort of distant, aloof, especially with the Fool, and all these swords that we have, because swords generally carry the energy of the mind, and it can be calculating, so people probably assume that you're cold or sort of distant, not really in touch with how they're feeling. Maybe even a little guarded here as well with the Nine of Wands, that you have some walls up. Yeah, people could get that wrong about you though, that you're hard to get close to, hard to get to know on a personal level, maybe even hard to approach too. Both the King and the Queen, you come off as someone who might be quite regal, who carries a lot of influence, social influence or importance. There's sort of two sides happening here. Okay, with the Fool and the Nine of Wands, right? There's two extremes that people perceive you to be. One is extremely outgoing, vivacious, the Fool, and then the other is introverted, aloof. Well, both of these energies can be aloof, right? Because these people, these figures aren't really like looking behind them. In this image, he's just on his guard and is sort of shielded from anything else in the image, right? So yeah, either way, people do see you as distant, probably cold, sort of hard to figure out as well. I think with the Maven of Masks, you guys might be hard to read. And also, I think of, you know, these two extremes, you guys as having like different sides of yourself, different masks that you present to people depending on who you're talking to, and also like how you're feeling as well. And then the Gypsy Columbine card. This is kind of that coldness, you know, she's not really concerned about being soft or, you know, making people feel comfortable. There's something about you that can be quite penetrating to people and also no bullshit at the same time. It's kind of funny though, because you guys like to figure people out and like to know other people's secrets, but you yourself remain at a distance and don't let people get close enough to where they could do the same. I just dropped the card. Okay. Let's get some more cards. Pile 1. What do people get wrong about pile 1? Pile 1. We have water flights. So flight, you might be a flighty person. It says heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. That's right in line with you guys not wanting to be weighed down by like emotional attachments. Yeah, people see you as somewhat flighty, again, like maybe staunchly independent as well with the Fool. Like you're someone who can't be pinned down, is hard to catch, sort of like Smoke here. Also just like hard to figure out in general. Pile 1. Okay, what is this? Soul Cage and Lemuria Returns. Okay, so Soul Cage. People, I just heard the word cagey, you know, like, again, people just assume that you have your guard up, that you don't let people in. And also that you're sort of like an extreme person, alright? There's, as I said, 2 extremes that you can come off as, either like really outgoing or extremely shy and inward focused. But either way, there's still this theme of you guys having these sort of walls up with people where you won't let them get too close. So people, they get that wrong about you. Like they think that you're cold, or they think that you're emotionally distant as a result. And then this card, it's kind of funny though with you guys. I think that you have a natural charm and beauty, and other people see this. They see this sort of softer energy that you have, and they just, again, kind of wonder like why you remain distant with it, or even like try to shield yourself, you know, and not let people into this bubble. You guys might be loners, or people might assume that you're loners because, as I said, you you come off as aloof, very independent, and also, again, with this like Gypsy Columbine card, maybe more nomadic, you know, like you're not committed to living in a specific location or being tied to emotional connections. Alright, let's get you guys some more cards. Ooh, okay, so we have move forward, experience the grace of who you truly are. You guys shield yourselves from people, and I don't know what your reasons are. I also think that you guys are very progressive, like maybe your beliefs or opinions are like come off as insensitive to other people at some times. It's a feeling that I have. But also maybe that's why you shield yourself, because who you really are, the full extent of it, might not be palatable for everyone, or to them you might seem a bit too forward or even radical, right? And I don't really mean that like in a political way, but just like with who you are, you know, like the way that you naturally think. Like, you guys tone yourselves down for other people. You kind of, I mean, like, you do have these extremes, right? That people, that come out when you're around people. But it's kind of as a way to deflect. The Maven of Masks card equals deflection, you know, like just the act of putting on a mask to conceal oneself is in itself just like a disguise. You guys disguise yourselves as something else to keep that distance and to numb yourselves down. Who you are when you're presenting yourself to other people. Okay, I'm gonna roll the Astro Dice. Let's see, what do people get wrong about pile 1? Okay, so we have North Node, Libra, and 10th house. Okay, so North Node kind of reminds me of this Move Forward card. The North Node is about that. It's about destiny, aspiration, goals, karma. The thing is, on a certain level, I feel like you guys do sort of care what people think. I mean, obviously, if you're watching this video, but same though, right? And that might be what holds you back, why you guys remain caged to others, but also why you might cage yourself in at times from being who you are meant to be, okay? And then Libra, this is a very pleasant energy, just like all these swords that we have, the King and the Queen of Swords. Libra is also tied to the air element. It's about intellect, peace, mediation, like finding a balance, right? And that's the thing, I think you guys come off again as like one extreme or the other. So Libra is about balance, about sort of achieving a middle ground. And also you guys are very beautiful as well. What I was picking up earlier with this card, you have a natural charm and softness to you that you try to keep on the down low or you try to like sort of like people see it, but again it's sort of like this more pleasant version of yourself that you try to project out into the world that's more palatable for people. Libra sort of has that tendency as well to want to please people and want to keep their cool, keep the vibe light, you know? So yeah. And then lastly, 10th house is the area of life that deals with career, reputation, public life. You guys could give off the vibe that you have a lot of influence or power in like connections, perhaps, like people who you know. And also like the fact that we have like 2 court cards here, the King and the Queen of Swords. People might think that you are well connected and exert a lot of influence even. So yeah, these are the main things I'm seeing for this reading, so I will leave it here for now. I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a super amazing day. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's see what people get wrong about you. Okay, get to these. We have the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, okay, the 5 of Cups, and the Hanged Man. And then for your oracle cards, we have Pixie Pierrot and Play Your Hand. Alright, so off the bat, this is pretty significant. The fact that we start off with the 9 and the 10 of Pentacles, these are like the cards of abundance, success, especially the 10 of Pentacles. That's like the highest. I mean, aside from the court cards, this is the 10. So symbolizes completion, sort of reaching that pinnacle. So I think that people might glamorize your life or sort of only see the beauty and the fruits of it and overlook like everything else about you. People get that wrong. They sort of assume that who you are on your resume or all the accomplishments or fruits that you have in your life like sort of define you. So people might like simply think that you are oversimplistic and see this more like surface level side of you. The person that I see here is super generous. I think people like you, they find you very nice, and I think you guys are generous. Like there is this side of you is real, right? Like it isn't being misconstrued by other people, but there's a whole other side to yourself that they tend to overlook and will simplify you down to this one area of life. Because you guys are very deep people. There's a lot of emotional wounds or even struggles that you have been through that you might still be going through. And I just get the feeling like there's just a lot of deep psychological work that you've undergone. Another thing that comes through that people assume about you actually is that you might be privileged in some way, like maybe with your upbringing, the way you look, especially. Like some of you guys have pretty privilege, absolutely. But you are a very nice person. Like people, they just see this and they might not even acknowledge that you are a person in some way. Like you have a story, you have a past. Okay. Also, okay, here's an example that just came to mind. Some of you guys might actually like struggle with depression or mental health, and people don't see that, or like if they do, they just sort of ignore it. Because I feel like there's something about you that people just that they don't talk about. Like people, they may or may not know this about you, and I'm not saying like for all of you, like but for a few of you guys, mental health could be a factor in this. And people sort of discount that or don't take that into account, and choose to see, again, how beautiful your life looks. Or even how beautiful you are, you know? Or like the privilege, okay? That is something, like, I don't know if you guys are privileged or not, but that is something that is coming through strongly, that people assume about you or that they get wrong, and they don't see the darkness that you guys conceal, especially in the way that you feel. I get that this is a very like emotional, complex pile. You guys are extremely sensitive. That's what this Pixie Pierrot card is about. This is a card of vulnerability, rawness, sensitivity, right? And there's also this sort of dissatisfaction that I think you guys have. I mean, like, you might have like a really beautiful, abundant life, like people assume, but there's also this underlying feeling that I have, like, that you guys emotionally are struggling or have struggled, or like there could be something that you are sort of hung up on, like literally with the Hanged Man. there's some sort of like perplexing situation or state that you guys keep finding yourselves in. And yeah, I just feel like you guys, people get that wrong about you. Really, like how deep you are, and that your money, your looks, your success doesn't define you. And then like with the play your hand card, similar, I just think like people assume that you have a lot of cards, or like you have a lot of leverage in some way, some kind of privilege or like upper hand in life, when I mean, like, you guys might be, okay, but again, like, people tend to see what you have and not really see you beyond the surface. Okay, let's get you guys some oracle cards. Pile 2. What do people get wrong? Okay, this fell on the ground. We have Soul Cage. Yeah, I think that there's something that's been like weighing you down, or just people don't see the darker days that you have. Again, they just only see like the happiness, the rainbows, more superficial things. And then we have the Silky Inner Skin, reclaiming authenticity. You guys are sort of working on standing tall in your power, not being afraid of being vulnerable or hypersensitive. You guys are extremely just attuned, though, to your intuition and your softer, like, feminine side. And maybe sometimes you're put down for that. Or people even think or assume that you are fragile or over-emotional. I hope this is making sense so far. But people grossly choose to ignore. I feel like it's that, you know, people, because it's not a secret, you know, with you guys, either like your background or this side of yourself. Like, people choose to not see it or to ignore it or to like just not say anything, you know, which is kind of messed up. That's why I think for like some of you guys, this has to do with mental health. But I mean, it could also have to do with another kind of emotional issue. Like if you've been through a nasty divorce or heartbreak, right? People could treat it as something that doesn't really carry much weight, or you'll get over it, or, you know, it's that kind of attitude, I feel like, that people sometimes direct at you, which is really frustrating. Because I think with you guys, people choose to misjudge you on purpose, or they will choose to discount other areas of your life or experiences that you have been through just because they want to judge you. They want to, like, judge you based off of the way you look, if you are very beautiful, or if you have some kind of, like, privilege from where you come from or your upbringing. I feel like people always will just want to, like, have the upper hand over you. I think also this play your hand card, as I said, if people do see you as privileged or as, like, fortunate or lucky, that's the thing. People probably just see you as lucky and might have some resentment for that and purposely choose to judge you or, like, critique your life. But the other main thing that I was seeing, of course, is that people just oversimplify you and not really see you as a complex, emotional, like, hypersensitive person. Okay, let's get you guys some more cards. This is a really interesting pile if you chose it. There's several different things that have come through. What do people get wrong? Okay, finding the path. You are the driver and the navigator. Maybe you guys have like dealt with blows to your confidence, or you suffer from a low self-esteem. Or again, there is just a theme here of you guys having to overcome limitations set from expectations of other people. This is way too much. Okay. Pile 2. Do people get wrong about you? Oh my gosh, okay. Just one card. Honestly, I will take it. Okay, 2 cards. Limitation is power, and do not be frustrated. Let go and feel peaceful. So it says lean into your limitations. This is interesting. So again, I sort of just feel like with you guys, pile 2, people, it's like they like you. They might not have any problems with you personally, right? But people tend to put you in this box or in this bubble based off of what they see or how they perceive your life to be. Again, like, especially if it comes off really nice, or they will glamorize it, and they glamorize you, but in that they are also dehumanizing you or taking away some of your power, right? And then this card is quite obvious. It's always just a reassurance card that you need not be worried. And you guys are coming more into your own. You are finding that personal strength. And I feel like you guys have overcome a lot. And also at the end of the day, like, people, I think with this pile though especially, might still end up choose to see you in a certain way where it's based off of what they want to see and not really how it actually is. So the last thing I will do for you guys is roll the astro dice just to see if there's any last things that want to come through. Okay, so we have Pisces, Sun, 10th house. Okay, so yeah, the 10th house is the house of the public sphere, reputation, accomplishments, right? So that's exactly like what we've been talking about. You guys are high achievers. You have achieved a lot of success in your life, or at least that's how it looks to other people. There might also be like just some, you know, financial abundance that is really prominent and on display here, especially because we have the Sun and the 10th house. So the Sun is very showy. It is positive, colorful. To others, it really does seem like you live a good life, like an abundant life. And then Pisces. Okay, here's the thing about Pisces energy. It's sort of like, it's a water sign. It's hypersensitive. We also had the Hanged Man here, which is the card associated with Pisces. Maybe some of you guys have some Pisces. It's really like a confusing energy. People will basically choose to believe whatever they want to believe about you, regardless of whether they have all the facts or not. So yeah, I will leave this reading here for now. These are the main things I saw. I hope it made sense. I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a super amazing day. Stay awesome. and I will see you guys later. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. For all of you who chose the Mookaite crystal, let's see what people get wrong about you. Okay, we'll put these off to the side. We have the 7 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and the Well. That's cool. You guys got the Well. That card is unique to this deck. Okay, and then for your oracle cards, we have Date with Destiny and Nebula Warrior. Okay, so what do people get wrong about you? Okay, well, starting off with these Wands cards, I think people tend to assume that you're tougher than you look, or just that you have like a tougher exterior, that you're someone who might be kind of like edgy or like rugged in some way. That's sort of the vibe with these cards. Wands are about action. I think people like to sort of like speculate about who you are or like your motivations behind what you do. There's also something coming through about your upbringing. I don't know if like you were raised in a specific way, or maybe like you were adopted or someone took you under their wing, or maybe you were an only child. Okay, like something about your upbringing features prominently in like what people get wrong about you. So people might like to speculate about your childhood or try to fill in the blanks here and there. There's something about like you guys, people just liking to talk about you or sort of just make up stories about you, almost if you guys were like a folk hero or a legend, maybe like within your community. Or people, it could also be that people from your childhood got a lot wrong about you, which honestly, like, true, most of us here. And also with the Well, it's kind of like, you guys don't care what people think. You have your own thing happening here, your own kind of like magic. You guys are connected to like the universe. We have Date with Destiny, and so that makes me think that you guys are very much connected to universal forces. You will do something if it feels right. You know, you guys are sort of on that path of self-discovery. People like to try to figure out like why you do what you do, or yeah, like why it is that you dress a certain way or choose to work in a certain career, or like what is it about you, pile 3, that doesn't line up or that doesn't seem to make sense. That's other people's reasoning here. And then also with Nebula Warrior, again, you guys kind of look tough. Like people, I mean, you might actually be that person, but we are talking about what people get wrong about you. So people might think that you are a tough, intimidating person. The Nebula Warrior is also someone who can be easily vilified, or who has a kind of sharpness about them. There is something about you guys. Maybe I feel like it's the way you look though. It's like your physical appearance. Something quite surface level that people see and they're like, oh wait, like watch out, you know? Yeah, let's get you guys some more cards. What is it that people get wrong about pile 3? Okay, honor the masculine. Respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. Yeah, there's that sort of like warrior toughness that you guys have. Masculine energy. So like despite your, like whatever gender you are, if you're a man or a woman, people, what they do get wrong is they see this more like masculine energy, and they might assume that it's you guys at times being pushy or aggressive or like forceful, right? But masculine energy, it's really just about embracing who you are. This is a card of freedom, not caring, which I think you guys don't care, right? And like when people are trying to figure out your reasoning or your motivations behind your actions and behind what you do or who you are, they like to speculate and think that it's you guys trying to get attention or like trying to make a statement, like being bold or daring, when it really could just be you guys doing something for the hell of it, or again, just doing something because it feels right to you and not because you care about what other people think of it. Yeah, people assume that you're daring, that you're bold, you have a real tough exterior. And then, I can't speak, sorry. We have the unseen. It says too much is hidden from you. Okay, so the unseen works in two ways. This can be things that are hidden from you, or it could also be, especially in this reading where we're talking about other people and what they get wrong, this could be like things that are hidden from them as well. I think both. Like you guys are guided by something that is hidden from you, something you know is destiny, the universe, right? Pushing you in a certain way or down a specific path. And other people, they don't see this either. Like they might not see you as being yourself, but rather they might misconstrue it as you trying to be someone else, or you trying to I don't know. I think with you guys, people would sooner believe that you have some kind of logic or reasoning behind how you choose to present yourself, as opposed to you guys just doing it because it's you, or because it's just like it's not like you guys care about it, you know? Yeah, that's what's interesting about this pile. I think that people might overcomplicate things with you, or they always will try to find some kind of reasoning or logic, like, oh, there must be a reason why she decided to dress that way, or why he decided to pursue this, when it's really, you know, like there's nothing with the well. It's like there's nothing behind it. It just is, you know? You were just being you. Pile 3. Okay, let's get you guys some more cards. What do people get wrong about pile 3? We have limitation is power. Lean into your limitations. Okay, let's get one more. Or two more. So we have deal with the unexpected and concealed power. Ooh, I love this card. This actually kind of reminds me of the well, and also like the unseen card, like things that are hidden from other people. Like they don't realize that you have this power. And I don't know, I feel like for you guys, again, like people like to make up stories about you. People do like to talk about you as if you were almost like a curiosity, or like you made the choice, right? When it's like, I don't know, did you really? Like, do you really care? It's interesting that we have two cards that have the word power in it, because you definitely have a lot of power, I think. And also what's cool is that the deal with the unexpected card, it says treat the unforeseen as a divine offering. When I saw this, it also made me think back to the well and how you guys, you may or may not realize this, but you have some kind of divine protection or guidance in your life. And I think that's the mystique about you. It's not like you really, but it's like, you know, people think that there's some kind of complex thing about you or that you are trying to do, when it's in actuality something that you guys are being called to do, or you know, guided by. Yeah. Okay, let's roll the Astro Dice just to see if there's any last minute stuff that wants to come through on what people get wrong about you. Okay, so we have Mercury, Cancer, 5th house. Okay, yeah, so Mercury, people like to talk about you. Again, it's kind of like that interest, that curiosity that you spark, right? And then Cancer. Cancer is a very spiritual energy. It's tied to the home, the mother, right? And kind of, again, like this well of like creativity, inspiration, and divine forces at work in your life. You kind of draw people in. The well is sort of like a metaphor for that in the way that people talk about you, pile 3, because it's sort of like this, they just fall into it, and it could just be really fun to talk about, or you know, like with the 5th house. The 5th house is the house of fun and games, right? And again, you guys, like, you come off as someone who is very bold, maybe even dramatic, right? Like, people, they could get this wrong about you, where they think that you are seeking attention or some kind of reaction, you know, when you're really just being you. Yeah. I will leave this reading here for now. These are the main things I'm seeing. I hope it made sense. I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a super amazing day. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later. Hey Pile 4, welcome to your reading. For all of you who chose the gorgeous purple fluorite, let's see what people get wrong about you. Ooh, okay, we will get to these. Let's start off with your tarot. We have the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so we have quite a bit of Pentacles in this reading. And then your oracle cards are the White Duchess and Voice of an Angel. Ooh, I love this card. It actually doesn't come out that often, so it's kind of special. Okay, there's kind of a specific vibe that I get so far with the Knight of Swords. You can see that we have this figure, well, the knight, and he has his armor on, it's covering his face. Can't really make out much about him specifically. Okay, you guys probably put on some kind of front or mask to people that is very objective. I feel like people can't really figure out much about who you are or the things that you like. I also kind of get like someone who is very duty oriented, maybe formal, like rigid. That is sort of the surface level impression that people get of you, and that's sort of what they get wrong, because they might see you as a bit like boring, again, like rigid or someone who plays by the rules, right? The Knight of Swords. But really, it's like quite the opposite. That's what people get wrong about you. They see you as like a white slate, as a blank, maybe even boring person, when you have a lot of pentacles. Like, you actually have a lot of things going for you, and like specifically exciting skills. And I think the Voice of an Angel card, you guys are really gifted in the arts or in some kind of skill. I heard that you guys can do actually like anything you want, any kind of skill. You have a mental flexibility and ability to adapt to any situation you're in, or to pick up things. You guys are quick learners. You kind of get it. You get what people want of you, you know? And this impression that people do get, I'm here that it's kind of like just who you are at work, or who you are whenever you do like meet people. But it's not actually you. It's just this sort of washed out, plain version of yourself. I also get that maybe some of you guys can do comedy. I think this pile is actually really funny, or there's something about your sense of humor or personality that is actually very entertaining, because the way that you come off is actually quite the opposite of who you are. I think that you guys are, like, the word that comes to mind is entertainment, and you guys being very gifted in a form of entertainment, whether that be like you can sing, it's like a artistic talent, or it could also again be that you guys have great wit or even like technical skills, because as I said, you are quick learners. And you are very like amusing. There's something about you guys that is very like fun and that likes to juggle different things in life. You guys do like variety and different experiences, right? It's kind of funny because you are that person, right? But what people get wrong about you is kind of like the opposite. Like people thinking you're plain, or assuming that you have like simple taste, or, you know, they see a very one-dimensional person, when actually you guys are very interesting. You have natural gifts in the arts, or even like with people, you know, like you can entertain, you can make people laugh, and maybe that just slips off of people's radar, or they might not appreciate it. But yeah, like I keep seeing like the hands here, and then this woman, it's almost like she's sort of finding her balance. I think people sort of sell you short. That's like the Five of Pentacles. Or you guys could just downplay yourself as this Knight of Swords, you know, as someone who seems more withdrawn. Honestly, like antisocial. People might assume you're antisocial when really you're just like on a mission to get things done, or so that you can do your own thing. Yeah. Okay, let's get you guys some more cards. Pile 4. What do people get wrong? Ooh, we have beauty. It says grace, loveliness, integrity of form, and spirit. That's gorgeous. I also just love that with the Voice of an Angel card. You guys have a very captivating effect when it comes to the things that you're good at, your skills, your passions. Let's keep going. Ooh, we also have divination. It says prophecy, fate, destiny, future fortune. Gorgeous. Some of you guys actually might be very good at divination, and that could be, you know, one of your skill sets here. Yeah, I think also with the beauty card, on a lower note, like people could misinterpret this as you being like shallow or superficial, right? I also hear that you guys are very elegant. Maybe it's just like the way you dress or present yourself comes off to certain people as like serious, or the thing is, you guys, yeah, like you have a sort of stylish way of presenting yourself as well, but people might not always like interpret that in the best way. But also, again, I think people just do underestimate you or undersell. Like, you guys undersell yourself. If you do sell yourself, people are misinterpreting it as superficial or just strictly based on appearance, you know? Yeah, let's see what else we get. But yeah, this beauty card is actually pretty interesting. Again, like the main things that are coming through though about you guys that people get wrong is that like you're antisocial, you're plain, you're dull, you are kind of blank, you know? That's the word that keeps coming to mind. It's like blank, like a question mark. What? Alright, we have free will, get out of your cocoon. The thing is, I think you guys, yeah, you definitely present yourself as withdrawn, maybe even like strict, or, you know, again, that Knight of Swords, kind of dry, right? But I think you guys, underneath it all, are a very fun, like, colorful person, right? And it's really just, you don't really show that to people. You might have other stuff on your mind, or you just don't feel this need to show off, you know? And then we have do not be frustrated, let go and feel peaceful. I love seeing this card in this reading. I would usually like interpret this card as sort of a confirmation or a reassurance that you guys have nothing to worry about. Like the worst possible way you could come off to people. I mean, people are always gonna judge you no matter what, but I think what people assume or get wrong about you, you have nothing to worry about. It's not as bad as you might think or like might fear, okay? That's what this card is trying to tell you guys. You don't have anything to worry about in terms of that. I think people, you know, like at worst, like the worst thing that they could say about you or misinterpret is literally you being boring, okay? It's nothing mean. It's not like people misread you as being like stuck up or anything. Literally, you know, the worst things people get wrong about you are literally just that they think that you're antisocial, sort of withdrawn, blank. But again, it's because they're not like registering that you have talent though, you know, underneath it all. You have a gift in the arts or in some kind of field, right, that is very beautiful, but you don't always let it shine through because you don't feel the need to. You guys might not want attention necessarily. Okay, the last thing I will do for you guys, actually this screen got really dark. Okay, the last thing I will do is roll the Astro Dice just to see if there's any last minute info that wants to come through on what people get wrong about you. Okay, so we have Neptune, Cancer, first house. Yes, okay, so Neptune, this is sort of a nebulous energy. Neptune rules dreams, the imagination. You guys are very creative, like, and especially with Cancer as well. Cancer also has that dreamy water energy. So again, it makes me think that you guys have some kind of talent in the arts, especially if it is singing or some kind of performance based art, some kind of skill set that you are naturally gifted in. And then the first house is the house of the appearance. It's sort of like the first impression. So again, I think people upon meeting you or just in general get this really surface level outer side of yourself that might seem, well, obviously it would seem really like one-dimensional, maybe even superficial at times. It's kind of funny though, because even if, you know, people get that wrong about you, I still feel like it's funny just because if they assume that you are antisocial or if that you are being dull, that it's because you might not like them, or yeah, like that you're not looking for that, you know, that you are just concerned with other stuff. So honestly, yeah, it's kind of cute with this pile. So I will leave it here for now. These are the main things I'm seeing. I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope it made sense. If you did like it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a super amazing day. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later.